Right, so we're here in Marine Suppliers on the West Pier, and Micheál has very kindly organised a session on splicing today, organised by Susan's here with us from Howth Yacht Club and Melissa. And it's really interesting, Micheál. So looking at Marine Suppliers, so 1973, right? So you've been kind of doing this for the fishermen for the last 50 years, right?
Yeah, that's how long the business is here.
That's along the business here, right? And I think it was it 2002. So the last 20 years, you've been supplying the marine industry as well. So looking after all of the boats and the yachts in Howth Yacht Club. But I know certainly as an HYC member myself, I'm in here nearly every week during the summertime. So it's great to have all that support.
Oh, yeah. It's been going for the last 20 years with the Leisure Marine, so that's been keeping us going as well.
Brilliant.
That's the fishing, yeah.
Brilliant. So what are we going to do today then? Just maybe talk us through.
Just a 3-strand splice.
Okay.
Basically, you can tie off it about 9 inches or whatever length. You learn by experience, really. And to tape the 3 ends so that they don't unravel totally.
Right.
Now, you can use insulating tape. Normally, you use twine here. It gives a more solid job. But insulating tape, if you're just practicing trying off and don't want to get all sorts of twines and needles at the start anyway, till you see if you want to carry on.
Yeah.
So you open up the 3 strands after tying here.
Great.
Back, then tape the end so it doesn't then it's basically just you make the length of your eye yourself. You want a long eye, short eye, and where it's straight with no kink in it. And when you hold the 3 ropes strands together to the rope, pick the middle one, and then at your length or distance, open up the rope like this, put it through, put through the middle one, keep the other one on top, third one on the bottom, and when you pull, one is on top, one is on the bottom. And then you've gone through 1 strand here. The top one you move on a strand, open it up. So the rope goes through the top one. That's the other middle one is through the one behind it. Then you go back, and the one before the middle one, you open up. So you're going through the 3 strands differently. 1, 2, 3. And after that, it's basically just over 1, under 1. So when you open this up, you're going over 1 and then in under that one. And then move over, just turn it. The next one, you're going over 1, under 1 again. And then back to the third one. So over this one, under. Just give them a little pull that they settle in snugly. Then again over 1, under the next one, and then the next over 1, under 1 again, and then the last one, because 3 strand ropes would normally have 3 tucks. So you have 3, and it's coming down straight. This is straight, that one's straight.
And how many of those do you do, Michael?
Well, 3 tucks will be the normal.
Yeah.
3 strand rope. If you're using 4 strand 4, 6 strand 6, I'd normally put 4 in just for safety. But as it pulls tight, the rope pulls tight, it grips the rope underneath, so it actually tightens up as you pull it. And because the pull is straight, it's about 50-60% stronger than a knot, because a knot, the rope, the outer side would have the greatest pull, the inside the least, and you have an even pull on the rope with a knot, whereas with a splice it's even.
Right.
But
and that's it. The finishing part of it then.
well, the finishing part, you can put a whipping like this around it again.
Yeah.
Here, and then cut these off, cut the ends off.
Cut the trailing ends off. Right.
Yeah, I have a couple made up down below. But just to show what it looks like with a different colour. Say that was your middle one, and you can do this also, is run one down all the way on its own. So we're just going over one, under one, and it's more visible with that. So it's basically the 3 ropes are like that. These 2, you can do them, run them down as well separately, so you would have the 4. But that's to give an idea. That's what the rope looks like. Each of these, they're straight.
And to make sure that you have enough strength in it, is it like about 6 inches in the length of the splice, something kind of like that?
You can make the eye splice as big or as small as you like.
Okay, yeah.
You know, you can make it. It's basically just trial and error at the start. You'll know whether you can make it that size, or you can make it that size, but it's the same thing. Get the middle one, and the middle one, I mean, if you have it like that and you start, the rope is inclined to go like that when it pulls. So you get it when it's just naturally lying in.
Yeah.
And as I say, with the insulating tape will do a job. If you don't have twine, there's no need to be going getting all sorts of equipment at the start if you're just going to do one splice. And the same, you just in, and you have one strand over, one under. Again, the same thing. And you go over to the back one, the 3 strands. Make sure you you use, I think that night in the club a lot of people were sort of going under this with the same strand. So that's under that one, that's under the second one, that's under the third one. So you have 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And you just straight down then after that. And that's the white one was just to show you the line that it takes.
Right, okay, yeah.
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 So, I mean, that would be like you can join a rope into another rope, and all that. I have a few down below, can show you.
And in terms of thicknesses, if you're doing the splice between 2 different ropes, it should be the same thickness?
Generally, it would be you would join in the same size rope, but you can join this rope into a big rope. Say you have a buoy, you just want a pickup buoy. You can splice a small rope in, 3 strands into this sort of rope. It's the same thing, you just open that up, you go in there with it, the middle one, and the same thing. Just
right, yeah.
So you can't, you know, and the same again, just run it down to 3, and you would just run that down. So you'd have your pickup buoy out of your mooring rope.
That's very clever, yeah.
Yeah. And again, just put a tire on it there with black whipping twine or that. So,
and I know you're probably into the advanced level at that point, but you can also splice it to chain as well, right? If you need it to your anchor chain.
Yeah. With chain, you just use 2 and 1. You're in and out.
Okay. You're
using about that much of chain.
Yeah.
So, and whip it a few times as you go along.
Yeah.
And
just, I know one question people have is how far you decide to go down. When you had the white rope on the blue, is it just based on the size of the loop, or?
As in which?
Like you had the white. How much? How many of the kind of tucks you need to do? I suppose. Yeah.
Well, probably do 4. 3 would be the textbook.
Okay.
4 is
belts and braces. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, you just go down 4 or so.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And you can also join rope together. Same thing, just get the middle one under. And
so I presume that's good for when you want a neat join, if you're going to run something up through a block or something.
Various different applications, just, or if you have a couple of bits of rope and you just want to use them up or make one bit out of it, that's,
Yeah.
and that's basically just, that's the tree gone in under. So you just follow that out and then go the other side. With the insulating tape, it's making it a bit long there, because normally we would use the tire for that's the the whipping twine, but I just had the insulating tape there as a to show that you don't need, you know, you can use what's available rather than buying needles and twine for that. If you're just going to try it at home for a couple of goes and you go, oh, I'm not bothering with that anymore. You don't have needles lying around.
Yeah.
But if you do sort of feel you're getting the hang of it and want to go move on, then you can obviously go to marine suppliers.
Yeah. So you guys, of course, do the splicing here, right?
Well, we do as well,
Yeah, well, that's great.
Yeah. So you can join rope as well. As I say, the tighter you pull it,
right, okay,
the more it grips, and it'll probably burst in the rope rather than the splice, because the splice is more strands.
Right, okay, so actually you got more strength where you've spliced. Okay.
Yeah, and say you can make beckets like that. Or just, if you have 3 or 4 bits of good rope and they're too short for you, just join them up, and that's, so just various options for all sorts.
That's brilliant. That's
brilliant.
Okay, well, thank you, Michael. That was fabulous. Thanks for taking us through it.